Guys, this is Crummer here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the possibility of Skylanders 7. Now, if you aren't familiar with the franchise Skylanders, it is a Toys to Life game that you grab a NFC portal like this and put a figure like this on the portal, and it comes to life in game, and then you can play the game with that said character. Now, the game started in 2011 and came to its demise in 2016 and was continued on by minor third-party games. But recently, all those games have come to an end. Or not recently, but in the past, they've all come to an end. So there is no more Skylander content for us to watch or invest in. Only SkyTubers and people continuing the community through YouTube and other social media platforms. But what I want to talk about today is the possibility of a new Skylanders game. Now, first of all, the question of what would it be about is what really stumps me, because personally me, I'm out of ideas and I have nothing that I truly think it can be about. But an idea I have seen, I don't know who the original I forgot the original name of the person who came up with this idea, but the idea of an All-Stars. I feel either All-Stars or a reboot is the only true way to really revive the franchise in a way that many people will be okay with, because I feel the big gap that's been between the last game, Imaginators, in 2016 and a new game in 2022, that is a 6-year gap. And just had a burp, ate a banana. But yeah, I feel like a gap that big is something that can only be really reignited through a reboot or a game that brings back a bunch of recurring characters instead of introducing the franchise as a new. And what do I mean by a reboot? For the most part, what I'm talking about is, for the most part, the first game on newer gen consoles, so some of the people that never owned the older gen consoles could play them. And things such as Spyro's Adventure and Giants, these two games are the ones that aren't on the new gen consoles, such as Xbox One, PS4, and the Wii U. Those games are ones that never got releases on those ones. So I feel doing a rehash of those games and either adding new content to it or adding a gimmick to the first game, because the gimmick of Toys to Life is no longer unique to it, as there's 5 other games, and Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions, and Amiibo all incorporate that exact same idea as well. So introducing Spyro's Adventure on the new consoles, but with a new gimmick, is what I feel is the best way to bring back the franchise. And that way we can even get older figures for Skylanders, such as maybe Sunburn, people who never got a repost once in their entire figure lifetime, or ones such as Voodoo, Boomer, or Ghost Roaster, Skylanders who got reposes but never got a Series 2 or anything of the like. But with that out of the way though, are people even really into Skylanders anymore? In 2022, there's actually a lot of people in the market for Skylanders. As surprising as that may be, there was an outage of Skylanders in 2017 to 2019-ish, but once COVID happened and everyone started going through their old things, people have slowly gotten back into Skylanders. And so 2020 saw an uprise in that people, and many SkyTubers and many other people who've wanted to start collecting have made YouTube channels and become very big in the community. And so more people are invested in Skylanders than there was back in the day. So I feel that the community is even bigger than it used to be, which is something most games can't say after they've died. And some of these franchises that die, they just disappear off the face of existence with very small communities. But the Skylander community is super big. There's still many people that are getting massive followings through Skylanders, and ones that keep it alive to this day. And yes, there are people in the market. You can check on eBay, hundreds and hundreds of people will be selling, and many people are buying these collections and lots and individual figures. Even I and myself am in the market, and I'll see biddings that keep getting one-upped and one-upped by multiple people trying to get these figures. So yeah, the Skylanders is still very popular to this day, despite it being dead for 6 years. But the real question is Skylanders realistically going to happen again? There's a yes and a no to this. The no is the fact that it's been 6 years and nothing has been released about a new game. The only thing that's ever been said is there's no new game coming, and that's pretty obvious in what it says. But recently, there's been a new IP holder of Skylanders, and that being Microsoft. Now, they bought a whole lot of Activision's IPs, and one of those being Skylanders involved. And I feel either they can revive the franchise in a new way and make it its own new entire thing, a new generation of Skylanders, or do what I previously said and have a reboot and add a new gimmick to Spyro's Adventure. But nothing has been said about the new Skylanders IP holder, and sadly enough, only time will tell what is truly going to happen with it. And so, the only thing I can think of that would realistically push the fact that we want a new Skylanders game is starting one of those signature things where we just have hundreds and thousands of people sign it and make it clear that we are in the market for it, because I feel that's the only way we can get them to know we want this game and we will pay for it, because these big companies aren't going to make a new game if they know people aren't in the market for it, or if they believe it won't do well. And I feel that's the issue, is Activision and Microsoft maybe look at Skylanders and think it's been dead far too long and its time's passed. But people need to make it clear that we are still here and that we want the game to come back. That is exactly what I feel will bring the Skylander franchise back, is through the community as a whole coming together and being loud and clear about every single thing we want. Whether it's a signature or something like that, I feel as a collective, if we show how big we are as a community, that is the only way we'll get our next game. And other than that, unless the game's already in the work, I feel there's no hope for a new game, because I feel that if there's going to be a new game, it's either in the works currently and no one knows about it, or it's never going to happen. And that's the hard truth we have to follow. And that's all I can really say about this topic, is that there's hope and there isn't, because many leaks have even come out saying that there might be a new game in 2020, and it's 2022, nothing yet. And they released 6 games in 6 years, so I feel if they really want to make a new game, they will make it. And it's not going to take long, because hell, Trap Team got scrapped and then remade from the ground up in 1 year. Sure, it's the buggiest game of them all, but who cares? It's a working game for the most part. But yeah, even on a new technology, I feel these games would be even better than they were before. But yeah, that's, in the end, these are my thoughts and opinions on it. And if you have your own personal thoughts and have information that I might have missed out on, please go in the comments below and tell me, and I am more than willing to make a part 2 on this if I feel there's enough reason to. And the only way that will happen is if many of you bring up good points that I either missed out on or skimmed over, or points that I barely talked about, or ones that just weren't as strong as other points. That's what this video is. It's my call to you all on what you think about this topic. I gave my personal opinions, now I want to hear all of yours. So yeah, let me know what you think and what you honestly feel was going to happen with the Skylanders franchise. With that said and done, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Share this content with others you know, because for all you know, they might like watching some dumbass talk in front of the camera. Anyways, thank you. Goodbye.